ahead and get this muzzleloader buck all skinned up and ready to do a European mount, skull mount. Been on ice for a couple days in the cooler, obviously. Oh, that is cold on my freaking toes. Cold on my toes. And it's about to start raining now, so that's good and bad. Really hope it doesn't start to pour out. Basically, we're going to skin the hide off the head. We are going to cut bottom jaws out. So I'm going to give it to my buddy and have him age it for me. And I'm also just going to try and get basically as much meat as possible off the entire skull, so that when I put it in a bucket, the maceration process, the rotting process, goes a little bit faster. Should take, if I get it down to just the skull, cut the jaw out, a month and a half if I change the water. So go ahead and get started on that. It's pretty basic, self-explanatory, obviously. Removing skin from bone. It's no rocket science to it. It is a bit of a pain in the ass, though. So we're going to make our first cut. It's going to be vertically right up the back of the skull plate from the neck. We're going to get just about in between the antlers, and we're going to go make our Y cut, 45 degrees out to the back of each antler. And then once we get that going, we're going to slowly cut behind the ear where I'm cutting right now and peel that skin as we go around the entire base of the antler, being very careful not to hit or cut into the bottom of the antler, because you can scar it and, make it look crappy, and being careful not to scar into the skull itself, because with a razor sharp knife, that blade will cut into the skull a little bit, and you'll leave looks like a big scratch essentially. So it's a little tricky, trying to be careful and not cut into the bone and scar it. But once you get rolling and get around the base of the antler, it's pretty basic. It's like skinning, the hide off the back of the deer. Once you go down the side of the face and around the eyeball, and then when we get to the nose, that's another area you want to be careful with. So as we get to the nose, you just want to be reminded, be a little more gentle, because there's two nose bones that typically come off in the bucket, like if you're doing a rot process like me. But if you're gentle enough and you don't bang the head around, they stay attached enough that you don't have to glue them. A lot of my heads, I don't need to glue the nose bones in. I'd say probably 15% of them I do. It's not often. But yeah, just be a little more careful around the nose, just so you don't have extra steps or, add stuff to the process of getting your skull mount done. Alright, well, now that everything's nice and freaking soaked, definitely got more rain coming. We're gonna try and get this hustled up and done. The sun's out, but it's gonna rain out. Alright, so now that we got all that hide off and everything got soaked from a rainstorm, we're gonna finish up getting the rest of the meat and the lower jaw out. But we're gonna start here with getting this piece of neck and a single vertebrae that's still connected. I'm trying to get some of the meat cut off so that I can find the joint where the femur connects to the back of the skull, where the spinal column would be. And it's, you're trying to get that blade up into a little tiny cavity to cut the tendon. It's not easy. A little tedious. This whole process is tedious, but just a little cut here, cut there, pull here, pull there, pry this way, pry that way, a little bit at a time. Vertebrae. Like I said, very tedious. Now, that's pretty much the biggest chunk. The other main part is obviously the esophagus, the tongue, and the lower jaw. Or not lower jaw, the jaw bones. So I guess, yeah, lower jaw, whatever. I don't know. I ain't. Alright, so now we're working our way into getting this jaw removed. You got a good amount of tissue, or meat, muscle, whatever you want to call it, where the cheeks would be. So I'm trying to cut the meat off so that I can actually see where the jawbone hinges and turns 90 degrees up into the skull itself, so I can start to cut the ligaments that are up in there. Once you get the meat removed, you can see how that jawbone will come back and then turn 90 degrees up into the skull. We'll try and get that knife up along that on the front, or on the inside and outside on both sides. You'll see still removing a little bit of meat there. I'm getting the esophagus cut out. Now I'm starting to try and get where I'm saying those tendons that connect up behind, those tendons on the inside up towards the top, and they're a pain in the butt to get to. It just takes a little bit of fidgeting. Trying to get them. There's these little teeny pin bones up in there as well. I don't know if it's a cartilage or a tendon, but they're pretty dang hard to cut through, even with this Havalon, as sharp as it is. You just gotta get that cut out, and then you can start to really pry on it and pull it out. And once you get that jaw opened up, you can really see what tissue is holding it still. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the tongue and as much meat off the lower jaw as possible, because I'm going to put that in the bucket as well and give that to my buddy, and he's going to age this deer. Might even go ahead and remove one of the molars and send it out to get tested, because I think this deer was pretty dang old just based off his body size for the area that he was harvested in. jawless, no vertebrae, as much meat as possible. You could go to the next step and take the eyeballs out, which is, it's going to make it faster. I don't think it makes too much more of a difference, but if you wanted to make it as fast as possible, you can take the time to cut everything out and off. And this is going to go in the bucket with it to get cleaned up, so that when I give it my buddy, it's not gross, obviously. He can really get a good read on it. I don't know enough looking at them, but probably hose it off and take some pictures of it. That's it. There's a nice Everglades sawgrass, fully mature. It's got some good bases on him. I'm gonna say he's at least, he's a bruiser, big body on him, so he's got to be 4 years old, I'd say. It could be 3, could be 4. I'm saying 4, just because the body size. But there you go. That's a wrap.